You wake to the gentle rise and fall of the whole world breathing beneath you. It is so slight you might have missed it. A slow swell that lifts your bed a hand's width and sets it down again. The rhythm of the open sea carried up through everything you touch. Through the curved glass beside you, light comes bright and clean off the water, and there is no land in any direction. Only the endless blue meeting an endless sky at a horizon that holds no coast at all. You lie still for a moment, feeling the ocean move beneath your home, and then you understand where you are. You have woken upon a nation that floats, a country with no soil, drifting free upon the open sea. You rise, and the floor is steady despite the slow motion of the swell. And you move to the window to find the floating nation spread around you in the morning light. It is a city upon the water, but unlike any city built on land. Broad platforms link together across the surface, rising and settling gently with the waves, joined by bridges that flex and breathe with the motion of the sea. Gardens grow upon every level. Water moves in bright channels between the structures, and the whole vast assembly drifts as one upon the open ocean, a place with no fixed location, no borders drawn on any map, a homeland that goes where it chooses. You step outside, and the air meets you fresh and clean and full of salt, and you understand quickly what makes this place unlike any nation before it. It was not inherited, it was not conquered, it was chosen and built, plank by plank and platform by platform, by people who came together not because they were born in the same place, but because they shared the same dream. This floating nation belongs to no continent and was taken from no one. It rose instead from the open water, the first country in human history founded not upon land but upon a shared idea of how to live. A small craft drifts up to meet you, smooth and silent, and you step inside. It glides low across the water between the floating districts, weaving past others without ever slowing or touching, guided by a single shared mind. There is no pilot and no waiting. You watch the platforms slide past, each one rising and falling with the swell, and you realize the whole nation moves together in a slow and constant dance with the sea, never fighting the water, only riding it, bending with every wave instead of breaking against it. The craft carries you among the gardens that grow across the platforms, and you discover how a nation feeds itself upon the open ocean. Food grows everywhere here, in terraces of green upon the surface and in gardens of kelp and shellfish suspended beneath it, where the sea itself becomes the field. Nothing is wasted, because out here, far from any land, every resource is precious and every drop of water cycles endlessly through the nation. You watch someone harvesting from the sea garden below the surface, and you understand that this floating country lives not by taking from the ocean, but by growing within it, gently, as a part of it. You rise to a wide commons where children have gathered, and you wait for a school and find only wonder. One child is shaping a model of the ocean currents that carry the nation across the world. Another is learning the names of the creatures that travel alongside the floating city through the open sea. A patient presence guides each of them along the thread of their own curiosity, and you realize these children are growing up as citizens of a country that moves, learning the sea the way children once learned the streets of a fixed town, finding it ordinary and miraculous all at once. You pass people as you go, and you notice the ease in them, and something else, something rarer, a deep sense of belonging that has nothing to do with where they were born. You meet the eyes of one who seems no older than 40, and somehow you know they have lived a century or more, that they came to this floating nation long ago from some distant shore and made it their home. You understand that this is a country of the chosen, gathered from every corner of the world, bound together not by blood or birthplace, but by the simple decision to build a life upon the water, side by side. If this drifting homeland is stirring something in you, a sense of what a nation might be when it is chosen rather than inherited, take a moment to subscribe and journey onward with us. Every future we explore together is a reminder of what we are still capable of imagining. The more of us who hold this vision in mind, the closer it comes. Now, let the journey continue. You rise into the air once more, and a transit line lifts you high above the floating nation. And from this height, you understand its full shape. The platform spread across the water in a vast and graceful pattern, hundreds of them linked together, rising and falling as one upon the swell, a whole country adrift upon the open blue. And you see how it lives so far from any land. It draws its power from the sea itself, from the endless motion of the waves and the warmth of the sunlit water, gently and without scar, taking only what the ocean freely gives. You realize the old fear of scarcity has no hold here, because the sea provides, and the nation has learned to ask of it nothing it cannot spare. The line carries you toward the nation's edge, where the platforms meet the open ocean, and there you watch the floating country in conversation with the sea. The structures rise and settle endlessly with the swell, bending and flexing, never rigid, never fighting. And you understand that the secret of this place is that it never tried to conquer the water. It learned, instead, to move with it, to belong to it, to make a home not upon the ocean's surface, but in partnership with its endless motion. You descend as the day softens toward evening, and the floating nation begins to glow, warm and golden across the water, its lights reflected and scattered by the gentle swell. People gather upon the platforms to share food drawn from the gardens of the sea, sitting close in slow and unhurried conversation as the whole nation rocks softly beneath them. And you notice the thing beneath it all. There is belonging here, a quiet and chosen kind, the deep contentment of people who found their country not by the accident of birth, but by seeking it out and building it with their own hands. You find a quiet place at the edge of a platform where the water laps gently below, and you sit, and around you, the lights of the floating nation wake one by one across the swell. You watch a child point out across the darkening water at a great shape, moving slow and graceful alongside the city, asking a question you cannot hear. And you watch an elder who has called this drifting place home for 100 years answer with a smile. And it settles over you, the meaning of where you sit. None of this was inevitable. A nation upon the open sea, belonging to no land and taken from no one, was not promised to anyone. It was imagined, and then it was built, plank by plank upon the water, by people who believed a homeland could be something you choose rather than something you simply inherit. This floating country was their answer, and it drifts now wherever it wishes upon a sea that belongs to all and to none. You lean back as the nation glows softly upon the swell, and a single thought stays with you beneath the gathering stars. This is what we became, when we learned that a home need not be bound to any soil. And quietly, somewhere within you, you begin to believe that we will keep building such places, wherever the dream of living better calls us.